Hi, it's Char, and I'm in the middle of balmy 27-degree Des Moines. I just thought, I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and it seems like, at any given time, we are getting ready to go through something, going through something, or coming out of something. And it's in those after moments, after you go through something, and after you're out of the immediate chaos, of being able to look back, kind of see what you did right, maybe what you did wrong, and then from what you did right, share. And I've had some people reach out to me wanting some direction of when I went through. I had a moment of just widespread chaos in my life about 1.5 years ago. And how did I get through those moments? And it actually at the same time deepened my faith. Now, you need to know, before I ever went through this moment, I had a really pretty solid faith. And something that, for me, I'm Christian, it's God, but it's something that is bigger than you, and it connects us all and based in love. And if you don't know what that is, or if you don't have that, you need to get that in place now, because I can't imagine looking back when I went through my chaos of not having that in place, how I would have gotten through that. And not just gotten through it, I thrived through it. And it's a beautiful process that I want to share with you. I knew that in the moment that I was notified that there was an arrest, there was a warrant for my arrest, and I had to go turn myself in. And right then I kind of heard Twilight music in the background. But I knew right then, from that moment, that whatever is going to happen, that it is for my good. That even in the immediate moments, it may not feel like it, but it's for my good. And that your mindset is really important on how you're going to go through a situation. And when I was in the parking lot of the jail, before I went and turned myself in, I remember being in my car and just praying and asking God for clarity on why this is going on. And by that time, I was already on the news. And there was already my phone was starting to blow up some on people wanting to know what was going on. I didn't even know what was going on. But I knew from that moment, I went from a 2D navigation, from having a map in my dashboard, to a 3D experience. And what I mean by that is I went and I really leaned into my faith. And that when I was in that parking lot praying, in that instant, I wasn't reading the Bible anymore, I was walking the Bible. For me, the Bible is a really good guidebook. Somebody else might use something else, but for me, it's a very, very good book I reference daily. And I was able to find some stories that I could really relate to. For instance, I'm in this parking lot getting ready to turn myself in for something that I did not do. None of this makes sense. I'm all over the news. And how do you get through, and how do you thrive through these moments? And I could have, and don't think that the thought of leaving town did not cross my mind, because it did. I wanted to run. I was scared. I didn't know what was going to go on. I didn't know how this started, but leaning into my faith, what I learned is, in that moment when I was in that jail parking lot, Jesus did the same thing when he was in that garden praying before they came and took him to crucify him. None of that made sense. All he was doing was loving, and look what we did with him. So it was really neat to see how I was no longer reading the Bible, but I was walking it. And so after I went through that initial processing of getting processed into jail and got released that same day, I started, because I was really hopeful at the beginning that this would go away as quick as it came on, because I thought that's how it worked, because I'd never been in trouble. So I was really anchoring to the short stories of the Bible, like Jonah in the belly of the whale. And so as I was going through it, I gained so much more awareness of what they must have experienced, because Jonah did not know it was going to be 3 days when he was going through that. In hindsight, reading the story, we know that it was 3 days, but when he is on day 2 in the belly of the whale, he never knew in that moment that he was going to get out. And because I had wishful thinking from the beginning, I kept thinking this would be gone in 3 days. That's why I stuck to Jonah. No, it wasn't. I was still in my whale, and Jonah turned into a little bit of a wimp and passed him. And then I went on, I found the next story, and the next story I really clung to was Noah and the ark. And really got a lot of clarity, and walking this process of deepening my faith, of really leaning into, I thought I knew God before, but this process really showed me the beauty of it all. And what I learned is that like day 13 and day 27 for Noah on the ark was that he wanted to jump off that boat, because in my own life, with what I was going through, those 2 days were really tough days, and the thought of throwing in the towel and how can I go through another moment like this was overwhelming. And why we try to separate or think that these great people that we put on pedestals and that we look up to and that we don't feel the same things that we feel in those moments is wrong. We need to know that everything that we feel right here, right now, as I was going through this, was felt by Jonah, was felt by Noah, it was felt by Jesus. They were humans. And for whatever reason, we want to kind of act like those things aren't part of us, but they are. And it really became very intimate, and it was a very beautiful process of how I went from a 2D navigation of getting through into a 3D experience of getting through a 6-month journey that affected every single area of my life, and that through it, I knew that I'm going to trust the process and that I'm exactly where I belong. And there were moments through the process that I got reminded I am right where I belong. And really through the whole thing, the only thing that I can do is control me. I can't control what somebody else chooses to do, what they choose to say, what gets done in the world. I can just choose how I choose to go through something. And I knew that actions speak louder than words, so that no matter what people are reading or seeing, as long as my actions stay consistent, those words will go away when the actions behind them follow, and the actions being based with good intent and love. And that and to remember that I was not alone, that in moments when I felt that I was alone, that truly I'm not alone, that I need to start reaching out. I need to go and study stories. I studied Nelson Mandela's story, Henry Ford's story, the Wright brothers. I mean, everybody thought they were quacks and they were crazy, and look what wonderful things that they brought. It wasn't easy to get to that. It wasn't easy to get through all of that. It was through finding those stories and searching those stories out to realize that everything that I'm feeling, having to overcome this, everybody else is too. And I did create something that, and that's what I'm hoping to share with you right now, is that there was something that every single day I woke up, there was something I had to do. Now, there was some days through this process, the only thing I had to do that day was to take a shower or get out of bed, because I was so hurt. I was so shocked. I was so damaged of everything that had happened to me that I really had to just create a daily to-do list and make sure that I had my northern lights as I went through things to keep me on track. But there were some days where it was just, you need to get out of bed. You need to brush your teeth today, because they were very hard days. So you know, when you're reading these hard stories, or we're referencing stories in the Bible, or people who inspire us that have overcome great things, and we think, oh, Tony Robbins has never had a hard day. He has. He just doesn't choose to turn the camera on in front of that. Noah, he had a hard day on 13 and 27. Remember, I told you that. It just didn't make it into the final edition of the book. They're there. So if you're struggling with something right now, if you're not, you will be, because you're either going through, coming out, or getting ready to go through. Just know that you're not alone, and to realize that you're not alone. You're not the only one going through this. You might be at that moment, but reach out, seek that help, and thank God for the internet, because you can really, if you're in the immediate moment of your entire surrounding being maybe on fire or being not a good resource for you, you can go online to find those resources. So I did a to-do list every day. And then the second thing I did was made sure that I kept a list of things I was grateful for. And this was really, really important, especially when you're in situations that you cannot control, is being able to show one thing that you did every day and things that you're grateful for, so that when you maybe take another punch across the chin, or you get knocked back more than where you thought you were going to be, you could see how far you've come since the beginning. And that you're not taking just the blow of that moment, but you're seeing how far you've made progress from your very beginning. And if you do that, you do a to-do list, and you always remember that you have something to be grateful for. Some days it might be just the ability to walk, your vision. It might be the ability to hear. It might be that you have children, but there are things there that you are grateful for. There's always something to be grateful for. And then lastly, and I think I've heard this most of my life, just fake it till you make it. So you know what? I made myself get up. I made myself, even though I was not busy, because this situation actually completely put me out of business for 6 months, which was the intent of this person, was to completely annihilate me, which you can't do because he didn't make me, but he made it a little bit hard. And even today, though, as I stand here, he didn't do anything to me but make me stronger. And so it's all in how we look at things and how long we choose to carry things with us and hold on to them. What I know today as I stand here is he was kind of like the 5-pound weight in the gym. And what I mean by that is, you know what, you go, it makes you stronger, then you just move on to the 10-pound weight. You don't go to the gym and look at the 5-pound weight anymore. You just move past it. That's all that was. And I'm so grateful for the ability to learn to stretch those muscles and to be able to thrive through a process that was truly designed to destroy me. So if you are going through bad moments right now, I'm sorry that you have to go through these, but I'm excited for you, because it's through these moments that we go through that really strengthen us so that we can help each other. And as you're creating a better version of you and I create a better version of me, we're able to then turn around and help other people through those situations so that they know that they're not alone. So I hope that you heard something in here that you really connected with, and know that I share these stories because I want you to know that we are all so powerful. And a lot of it just starts with something that you're able to control, which is your mindset, and that we're all connected. And for us to never, ever, ever forget that, because when we remember that and we come together united, we can really change the world. So hope you guys are having a great day, and you guys can use something in here to go love somebody else. And today, start loving yourself first. Talk to you next time. Bye.